It's time for the Nebraska Volleyball Coaches Show.
Now the Huskers up 5-3 with the ball in the second. Back row, Merritt, Beeson, kaboom! Again, Illinois, middle back. Roll shot from Raina Terry. Here come the Huskers. Lexi Bergen outside. Taylor Landfair, block back. Great cover by Laney Choboy. Jack back, right side, Nebraska. Andy Jackson, kaboom! Wow! What an angle! What velocity! Service ace. Merritt Beeson's third of the night, seventh of the weekend. In system, quick attack. Rebecca Alec. Kaboom! Pass, set, see you later. Lexi to Bergen. The slide, Andy Jackson. We're done! They did it! Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down Illinois in 3. Here come the Huskers on match point. Big Red. Back set. Merritt. We're done! Huskers win.
Now, here's your host, John Baylor.
Greetings, Nebraska, and welcome inside your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hello. Special guest tonight, we're going to have assistant coach Jordan Larson. No further introduction required, but the wait is nearly over. Two juggernauts joust. Friday night, the UW Fieldhouse, Wisconsin, number 7 in the land, 15-4. They're 9-1 in the conference on Nebraska's heels. The Wisconsin Badgers have won 9 in a row. Meanwhile, Nebraska's won 17 in a row. They're 20-1, 10-0 in the conference. It's number 2 Nebraska on the road at number 7 Wisconsin. Before we talk about the future, let's look back. It was Saturday, and the Huskers defeat Michigan.
Served to Harper, not a good pass. The slide, Andy Jackson, kaboom! Laser. Mira Chopra, 6'3" back row specialist, serves. Pass made. Quick attack. Rebecca Alec. Kaboom! That happened faster than email. It's 11-10 Michigan. Pass made. Demetrician gets it back. Swings blocked. Merritt, Beeson. Rebecca Alec gets a combined about 13 feet of humanity. Nebraska by 2, 13-11. Left side roll shot. Taylor Landfair, second contact redirect. Here come the Huskers again. Back row. Harper. Kaboom! Smashing it from the 10-foot line. Lexi Rodriguez, perfect pass. Set left, roll shot, Valentina. Vowlette into the antenna, point Nebraska. 25-17. Pass made, Niambio, the middle, left side. Tip shot, Vowlette, the sophomore. Now the Huskers left tip shot by Harper, it's down. They expected the express, they missed the local. 25-11, Huskers in the third. Pass made the freshman. Penetration, back row, tip shot, Jacobs, peak block. Rebecca Alec. Nebraska's got 9 blocks tonight. Merritt, 12 kills, hit 400. Service ace. Merritt Beeson's third of the night, 7th of the weekend. What's going on with Merritt Beeson's serve? Middle tip shot by Violet. Diving dig, Lexi. Line drive serve. Andy Jackson, kaboom! Pass made by Harper, the slide. Andy Jackson, kaboom! 2 blockers, not enough. Maybe you need 3 or 4. Again, the Huskers down 1. Lindsay gets it, fires off the block. It drops. She's 1 for 2 on that rally. We're tied at 18. 3 in a row for Nebraska. In system, quick attack. Rebecca Alec. Kaboom! Pass, set, see you later. 21-20. Pass made by Harper. Gets it back, swings for the match.
The happy memories of last weekend, the Big Red take down Illinois, and that was a 3-setter, 25-17, 19, and 28-26, and then in 4 over Michigan the next day, 26-28, 25-17, 25-11, 25-21, Wisconsin this Friday night. My name's John Baylor. Jordan Larson, assistant coach. Good evening.
Good evening. Happy to be here, as always, with you.
Letter grade. How did it go this weekend, you think, overall?
Yeah, I thought it was a great weekend for us. I thought Illinois, I think always playing an opponent twice is always a challenge. You just never know if what they're going to come out with. And so I thought we handled them quite well. Was a little close there in the third, but I thought we did a nice job closing it out. And then obviously Michigan was a great game. They have a couple good pin hitters, and I thought we did a good job of blocking and defending them. And I think we did a good job of responding after that first set, kind kind of a close call there in the first set, but I thought we did a good job of managing that.
Jordan Larson, the Huskers dropped that first set 28-26 against a Michigan's team, which a year ago won 7 matches. Aaron Virtue, your assistant coach on the Olympic team, is the head coach at Michigan. Now they're 16-5 after the loss, 6-4 in the conference. That's a huge turnaround for Michigan volleyball.
Yeah, huge turnaround, and I talked to her a little bit before the match, and they had all the same girls back, which was huge for them, and great way to build their culture. And I think she's doing a nice job with them. So, and it seems like really good kids, she said.
Now, Husker attack percentage against Michigan was down a little bit. Meanwhile, against Illinois, very solid, hitting 338. What was the issue that caused the Huskers offensively to not hit the big numbers we have seen in the last 5-6 matches?
Yeah, I mean, I think they block and defended us well. They're a good serving team as well, so I don't know if our passing numbers were as high, so maybe not in system as much, but in general, I think that, and it's hard what we're doing and being undefeated, people don't talk about it, but it's a hard thing to do, and people are going to bring their best against us. So
20-1, the Huskers have won 17 in a row. Here comes Wisconsin again.
Yeah.
This has been a rugged matchup for Nebraska. Wisconsin has won 11 of the last 12 against the Huskers. How important emotionally, mentally, in terms of belief, is it that the Huskers compete and it's at the very least close, ideally a victory on Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they are a tough opponent for us, and big respect to them. But ultimately, we can control what's on our side of the net and continue to preach belief into our players and confidence and all that. But we just have to trust. Coach Cook always says it, trust in our training, and it's true. If you attack every single day the same, it should show up on game day.
Have you seen a lot of the video on Wisconsin?
Yes. Yep.
All right. So they lose their first 3 matches, Louisville, Texas, and Stanford, in 4. That's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago.
And their last loss, all right, it was against Minnesota, the 25th of September. It was 18-16 in the 5th. They are rolling since. They've won 9 in a row. They're 15-1 since those 3 losses to start the season. How well are they playing now with their freshman setter, Charlie Fuhrbringer? In other words, is she no longer a freshman? Are they meshed well at this juncture?
Yeah, it seems like they are. They're finding their rhythm, and at a good time of the season. I'm sure they're excited about that. But yeah, I mean, I think we all had belief that we're going to be a great team. They are obviously have a lot of top players that I'm sure will continue on in the future, and so I think you always have to go in with a general layer of respect and assume the best and hope for. That we can maintain our side of the net. So I'm really excited for this matchup, and it's just going to be fun to be competing.
Toughest team Nebraska's faced all year? Most skilled? Toughest matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. I mean, to be honest, I thought Stanford, I don't know if they showed us their best cards, the night we played. I thought we did a good job of handling them as well, and they're well coached too. So. But yeah, I mean, I think probably the most physical, I would say. They just got some big pins, and we just have to do a pretty good job of just, again, sticking to our game plan and our side of the net. How well can we side out?
Now, our goal, among many, at least in the broadcast crew, is to manage expectations.
Yes.
So Wisconsin's last match, Saturday matinee, at Purdue no less, 25-20, 25-23, 25-13. Chloe Chicoine, who had 24 kills against Nebraska, had 3 kills against Wisconsin and hit negative.
Yeah.
So this is a suffocating defense. Purdue held to under 100, at least in this match.
Yep.
So defensively, is this one of the toughest challenges Nebraska's offensive hitters have faced?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they have, again, some big pins, and they are pretty good blockers, and so I think it's just understanding, giving our players the autonomy to be able to make decisions of, hey, can I kill this ball? One, if I can't kill this ball, is it too tight or something like that? How can I recycle it? How can I get it to the person to have trouble on the other side? I think volleyball is a game of decision making, and how can I use my IQ to, outsmart the opponents on the other side? And so I think that just continue to preach that every day and know that they're going to get theirs too, right? And we're going to get ours, and it's just all about who can, as we like to call it on the national team, who can pick the lock the quickest.
Who can pick the lock the quickest? I love it. You're the queen of recycling. We can ask you more about that, Jordan. But we want to tell folks how to jump in. 402-413-2400. That's 402-413-2400. And I got a text from Mike who wants to know how you think the team matches up with Wisconsin. So, they've got Anna Schreck, 6'9". They've got Devin Robinson, who's been there forever, who's in the middle. And they just have some of the biggest blockers. Sarah Franklin's the returning National Player of the Year. What are some of the biggest subplots that we're going to be seeing on Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can get caught up in the comparison game and who has what and how and all that stuff. And I think, I think we match up well against them. I think we run maybe a little bit faster offense, which kind of, depending on how fast we run and what options we decide to run, I think can cause some trouble. And I think we're a very good passing team. So if we can stay in system a lot, we can run a great offense. And then obviously block and defend, the best we can. And I know that we have, a really good game plan. I'm not giving him, it's just hard, because it's just, you really just don't know. And I think we all equate that every match equates to another one. And sometimes it's really just kind of what the night presents to us and then how we can attack it.
When I think of volleyball royalty going at it at this level, I think suddenly this is where we reveal just how critical the back row attack is. Because you can win as an elite team against other opponents with just front row attack.
Yep.
But against Wisconsin, do you think the back row is going to be critical in determining the outcome?
Yeah, I mean, it can go either way. I think back row can be a very efficient offense, but it also can be not so efficient. So I think it's kind of what is presented on that night. Like, what's their block and defense doing, and then what can we do to best exploit it? And it's a lot of conversation, a lot of details that we try to work within the moment. We can present a game plan and then being able to adapt and adjust as we go. But I think it's always staying ready and available in that option and being able to execute at will.
Do you anticipate all 6 rotations having a back row attack? We've had some rotations in past matches when they've had 3 little players back there, so we get no back row attack. Do you anticipate against Wisconsin we'll always see a Merritt, we'll always see a Harper, maybe even a Lindsay Krause available back there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely, it's an option. Yeah, it's an option, right? And so I think we have the pieces to be able to do that. And I think it's more of just like, what does the night present us, and then how can we best attack it? So sometimes, we may be struggling passing or something, so we need more, coverage on the serve-receive side, or we actually are in system a lot that we can run a general offense. So it just really kind of dictates the scenario and kind of the decision in the moment.
402-413-2400. Now, we're not going to make it to the first break without me bringing up Andy Jackson.
Yeah.
So she has had some of her most impressive kills on that slide.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of slides that she's running. And it's last year, middle of the year, the opponents sort of caught up to her a little bit. Hasn't happened so far this year, but maybe her numbers on the slide maybe not as high as they were 2 weeks ago, which is saying a lot because they're huge. Isn't saying a lot. But when she attacks from in front of the setter, doesn't happen a whole lot. Wow. Open net so often. What's the story there, and how can the Huskers set her up with a greater variety of attack?
Yeah, and we're trying to keep preaching that a little bit. It's like kind of, again, identifying what's happening on controlling on our side of the net, what offense we want to run, but it also dictates by how they're trying to block and defend us. So sometimes you'll see Andy run a slide and there are 2 blockers going with us, so it's then maybe we're trying to run the opposite, or we oftentimes still continue to set her against a 2-person block because she's just that physical. And but I think we're working on our middles of just being able to do everything and being able to run a lot of options, because then other people don't know how to defend us.
So we better appreciate Andy. How common is it in the pro game and on the national team for a middle to attract 2 blockers all the time?
Yeah, it's not very not very often. I mean, Feluca was always one that was just like
Feluca Akamada world.
You're almost there. Yeah. No, she. But we just kept setting her because she just would OT, and so it's same with Andy. It's just like just keep, and she hits with such pace that it's I mean, and I think one of the coolest things is just Andy's just such a light out there. Like her energy, her vibe, like her. I mean, so selfless and just wants to be. She's such a hard worker, which explains why, she does so well.
What are your thoughts on this, too? To me, everyone who sees regular playing time seems to want the ball in crunch time. Pretty unusual when an entire team, you think, is asking for it when it's, 14-14. Now, Merritt often gets that swing.
Yep.
Harper sometimes gets that swing. But they all look ready to go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a Jordan Larson mentality.
I don't know about that. No, I just think that at the end of the day, you want your players to want it, but I think it's also being able to be there for other teammates if they do get it as well, So I think we have a really nice balance of, how to be a good teammate and also be the woman in the situation. So.
Okay, you're going against one of the biggest blocking teams in the country. They're second in the country in blocks. Carter Booth in that Purdue match had 9 blocks, only went 3 short sets. She had 9 blocks, just herself. How have practices been going thus far? You've had 2 full days to prepare for Friday night.
Yeah. Again, I think that we're lucky that we have some boys in practice that we can kind of hit against, and then also against our players too. So we know that we're going to have to mix up shots and hit high, but at the end of the day, it's like we think we need to do different, but we just need to do the same. And if we continue to execute at a high level, we'll be just fine.
So don't think too much about the opponent.
No. I mean, I think you can get caught up in that, and you can make the event bigger than it is. And don't get me wrong, it's a big opponent, and there's a lot of factors in that. But again, we control a lot on our side. We control our own individual behavior, which then impacts the team, and all that kind of bleeds together.
Jordan Larson with us. This is a special Tuesday night edition of your Nebraska Volleyball show. This season it's been on Thursday nights, but we're going tonight. Why? Because the Huskers are traveling on Thursday night, and you can travel into this show at 402-413-2400. Back to your messages and even your phone calls, and more Jordan Larson as we continue after you hear this.
Woodhouse Nissan offers a convenient and streamlined way to purchase your next vehicle. Browse our full lineup of SUVs like the spacious and versatile Nissan Pathfinder or the adventure-ready Nissan Rogue. Lease the 2024 Nissan Pathfinder S for just $381 per month, 36 months, 5,000 miles per year. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $2,999 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Discounted price based on sale price of $38,250. VIN number RC304073. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Working together, Central Valley Ag unites with our farmers to feed a hungry planet. Add dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From food, corn, and beans to non-GMOs and organics. For a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract 25,000 bushels or more of value-added grain. Enter at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Nebraska Soybeans Power makes everyday products, from Goodyear tires and Ford cars and trucks to Skechers shoes and soy-based turf. These innovations replace petroleum and utilize other components of the soybean, leading to more sustainable products worldwide.
I'm Doug Sadoff, a farmer near Trumbull, Nebraska. Thanks to cutting-edge research, soybeans are now in everything from tires to turf. It's amazing to see how these advancements are unlocking new potential for our crops.
Soybeans are a win for everyone. Nebraska Soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We're recruiting teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Explore the lineup of dependable vehicles today at Woodhouse Toyota. Our team is dedicated to providing a satisfying, reliable, and enjoyable car buying experience beyond your expectations. Lease the 2024 Toyota Prius Limited for $500 a month for 26 months and 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at WoodhouseToyota.com. Woodhouse Toyota. Let's go places. With approved credit, $5,865 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Security deposit waived. Tax title license fee extra. Offer expires 11/4/2024.
Wisconsin and Nebraska surround a net Friday night. Wisconsin won national championship. Nebraska 5. The Husker Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. And Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Husker Athletics. All right, we got Amy in Norfolk. Hi, Jordan, JB. Just want to quick say that I love hearing the joy in your voice, Jordan, when you talk about coaching these girls and being with Husker Nation. Love it. You're having a great time, aren't you, Jordan?
I am. Yeah, it's fun to come to work every day for these girls and, yeah, just be surrounded by them. It's been
You don't get frustrated? Because I know the great ones, when they coach, sometimes they get a little frustrated. Like, what's going on? Can't you guys figure this thing? But you're
yeah,
okay.
guys, come on. It should click. No, I really enjoy that, like watching them, like, you know, if I give them a cue of some kind, like really trying to execute that, and then, you know, you can judge that they're trying and they're doing their best they can with what information they have, and I'm just there to help absorb anything that they need help with. So,
how often have we seen Nebraska's potential this year? I like to say we've seen glimmers. Is that an understatement?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just how you kind of anticipate expectations, right? I think that the game is volleyball is a game of errors, right? And it ebb and flows quite a bit, right? So how can you just remain consistent with a lot of how you approach practice, how you approach games, all of those things kind of bleed together. So, yeah, like you said, I mean, but I think perfection, I think we kind of get caught up in that word and what that looks like. And so can we just be good and good over time? And I think your record kind of shows that. So, it's cool.
Jordan, you kind of have this Zen, approach now. When did that hit? Was that you in college, or did that hit much later?
Yeah, I mean, I think the older I've gotten, it's just learning that, like, how you manage emotion and manage emotion in, like, I don't know, say the biggest of moments, right? Because we deem it as a big moment because it's maybe called the Olympic Games, right? But at the end of the day, you're doing the same thing. And so if you can kind of get yourself to kind of lower your internal thoughts and your internal, like, emotions, then it just becomes another moment in time. And so
what's the best way to lower your internal thoughts? Because on the driving range, it's usually a lot easier than on the first tee.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, I have spent a lot of time with a lot of great sports psychs and how you can acknowledge an emotion in the moment, and then being able to either positive or negative. If it's negative, be able to replace it with a positive, and then be able to move through it. I think the quickest we can do is, the worst thing that we can do is sit in negativity, but how we reframe it and how we move on to the next. And we talk about it on our team, like have a failure recovery system. So as soon as an error happens, how do we replace it with a positive and move on?
FRS, failure recovery system. Did you hear Coach Rule?
No.
After Saturday, did you hear what he had to say? I thought of that
haven't.
when you said it's how you frame it, and how he framed the really tough loss against Ohio State. I thought was absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
All right, we got a question coming in here. With the expanded Big Ten Conference, it seems the games are now only over the weekends. What does recovery day look like for the players and coaches? Do you guys truly have any off days, or is it more like active rest, watching the film, et cetera?
Yeah, it's a great question. They do have an off day. I would say us as coaches, maybe not so much, but that's just kind of the job. And but yeah, we do have, and we have to have for them and their health. And it's also really good for them to be able to shut down, especially when you're playing back to back. On like these weekends here where we have a day in between, it actually allows their body to kind of reset and come back.
10 more matches in the season, second half of the Big Ten tournament, and November is just loaded. At number 7, Wisconsin. At number 10, Oregon. At Washington. Number 15, Minnesota at home. Number 7, Wisconsin at home. At number 3, Penn State. I know you're not looking ahead, but is there a sense, okay, we got a real shot here?
Yeah.
I mean, Nebraska always tries to position itself to win a national championship. It's one of maybe 3 or 4 programs which can, maybe 4 or 5, that can. But this is a real shot here. And you don't talk like that, but is there a sense of, subconsciously at least, within the group, of the urgency of the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I keep sounding like a broken record, but I think if you approach every day, like it's D-Day, it's D-Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, I think expectations can get cloudy, and I think we all set them individually also, like of things that we hope to happen. But at the end of the day, it's like, how do we just be good today? Because today is the only day that matters, and whatever happens tomorrow is another day. So,
Carla from Grand Island.
Yeah.
So you know this is going to be a good comment.
Yep.
This is going to be a great comment. Notice Jordan talking with Harper a few times on the side. Can you say what you said to Harper?
Yeah. Again, I think it's just sometimes tactical or technical. I really try not to be as technical in matches just because you're kind of in a flow. And mainly it's around decision making and, hey, the blocking defense is doing this. So just giving them just little cues.
Technical versus tactical. So technical is like footwork, but tactical is like, hey, hit it inside the block, go cross court more.
Yeah. So for example, sometimes out of system, some teams decide to close line, but some teams decide to open line. So as a hitter, as much as we want to try to teach them how to have vision, sometimes the set doesn't allow you to hit where you think you want to hit. And you also don't often see like what's going on. So sometimes an outside eye kind of helps that situation.
One thing, Jordan Larson, has surprised me is that few teams since SMU have served to the one zone, to where this, behind where the setter wants to position herself.
Yep.
And SMU did that with great success. Even when the Huskers pass it, it's just more difficult geometrically for Bergen to set to the right or even set in the middle. So
look at you with your volleyball
really?
IQ. Like volleyball's a game in angles.
Yeah,
like ball
exactly.
knows angles. I
Yeah,
like this. I like
so,
this, JB.
I take it you practice that all the time. So if some other team tries to pull an SMU and tries to serve to the back right, you're like chuckling. You're like, nice try.
Yeah, good try. We already got
that was
it.
so August.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, sometimes you just got to give credit to the other team, and SMU played amazing, right? But at the end of the day, we always prep for everything, you know. But I am confident in our line of passers. We're always prepared for all the things, and then being able to adjust in the moment.
Jeff in Omaha, what are the players on the other team signaling before the serve when they are putting fingers behind their back? Do we know that too?
Yeah, it just depends. Every team has their own like level of signaling, but it's usually a blocking scheme. So sometimes maybe if a player is hitting a higher percentage or based off serving strategy, you know, maybe we'll take a step with the middle. Maybe we're gonna trap another pin, so we disregard what the pass is happening. So there is quite a bit of strategy depending on how nuanced you want to get within the game.
So it's the fingers are like the number of blockers they have, or no, the number of...
Sometimes it's usually the amount of hitters that are in the front row, usually. But also, too, we have different signals for like direction in which our middle is going to be going. So then that also signals to where our defenders can go. So again, we try not to. We're usually mainly in a read system, which is where the pass goes. Also, we try to read the setter's location and then be able to make a move.
And do most teams use the same nomenclature, the same language? So during a rally or before a rally, if you overhear what they're saying to each other, you can kind of figure out what's about to happen?
Depends.
Nice. You're stealing signs out there, but it's legal.
No, well, I think that's the thing is that I'm also trying to, tell our players is like how much information can you actually gather before the play even happens? There's context clues everywhere.
Really? Like what? I want to start doing this. Okay, what am I looking for?
No, I'm just saying
clues.
like there's just body language.
Okay.
Right? There's
like she's frustrated.
Yeah, or again, like I think you can get a little bit too caught up in that side of it, but I do think that there is a lot of information. Say a server is, I'm facing this way. Well, if a server is facing that way, odds of them hitting that way are probably going to be happening, right? So again, I think it's how much information can we actually get before it actually, in regards to also our scouting report, right? Our scouting report's kind of a general foundation, but then how can we build upon that with everything that's going on?
I remember when we were playing in China, those trips in the summer, very tough to pick up context clues because it was a whole different life. Here's Tori in Norfolk. Tori, great to have you on the Nebraska Volleyball Show with Jordan Larson. Hello, Tori.
Hi, JB. Hi, Jordan. Long time no see. I had a question about, it seems that teams with heavy hitters, I think of Chacoin and Eva Hudson for Purdue, with Sarah Franklin coming up this weekend. How much do you weigh defending them a little bit more heavily versus letting them have their own versus, do we concentrate more on defense? Do we concentrate on blocking? How do you develop the game plan to try to stop the bigger hitters on the other teams?
Very smart. I think it's a constant conversation amongst us as a staff, and I think definitely there's more attention, right? And we try to do the best we can, but also with a lot of great hitters, they have a lot of range, and they can see the block, and they can hit around it, they can make shots. So it's, again, like how quickly can we stick to the game plan of what we have? If we need to adjust in the moment, can we adjust in the moment? But then how quickly can we, move on to the next play as well? So I think it's a mixture of both, but I think you have the right approach.
It's an interesting question because there are very few teams that can win in December with one great attacker.
Yep.
Michaela Fecke, sort of. Jordan Larson, 2008, sort of. Sarah Franklin, perhaps. Melanie Parra, TCU, perhaps. So do you make the decision, look, she might get her 22, 24, 28 kills, but if no one else is putting up double-digit kills, we probably win. Do you ever make that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a conversation, right? But I think we always try to do our best that we can and try and put ourselves in a position to be able to stop them as well, right? Ideally, we would want them to hit negative, right? Like, that's ideal. But, again, I think we have to be realistic about what can be. But then, again, if that's happening, then what can we do on our side of the net that we can control? And so I think it's just not letting those moments be bigger moments than they actually need to be.
Great stuff. Thank you, Tori. Receive 1 year, 0% financing on seed and crop protection when you enroll in Central Valley Ag's Go Early Seed program. Visit cvacoop.com to learn more. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. And contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free. It's easy. It is the law. More Jordan Larson on the Nebraska Volleyball Show after you hear this.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops. And we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford credit financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
No matter what color you wear on game day or what color tractor you drive, there's one color Nebraskans trust to be a partner for life lived well. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska combines national power with Nebraska roots. Awarded the best health insurance experience in the heartland, Blue Cross delivers affordable, high-quality health plans for Medicare groups and individuals. Head to nebraskablue.com to find the coverage that's right for you. Team Blue says, go Big Red.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Not All Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Not All Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Not All Services. These are the Not All Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
The polar bear. Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hutmaker knows who to call when your house is cold enough for hibernation.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hutmaker here. People know me as the polar bear. Don't be like me in the winter and call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty, best warranty in town.
SOS to the rescue!
402-391-2336.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we are born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Welcome back to a jam-packed Nebraska volleyball show. I know some of our best shows are off the air, but the on-the-air version of this show is also pretty good, but off the air is great stuff. Meanwhile, we got a question from Molly, the piccolo player. Molly, she's awesome. The Husker Express. How do you think the band's doing this year? Solid? B+?
They're crushing it. Yes,
they're nailing
absolutely.
it.
We always approve.
And there's usually a Hawaiian shirt guy, with unbuttoned, and he's got it going. Meanwhile, Molly, the piccolo player, texting in saying, my question for Jordan is, what does the process of coming up with a game plan look like? Do the coaches work as a team to come up with a plan, or does that burden fall more on Coach Cook?
I do think it's a combination. Obviously, Kelly is our offensive coordinator, probably. So what offense are we going to run? Jalen's more defensive. And I've been just kind of adding just general input. And then ultimately, it's John's decision at the end of the day.
All right, question in the minds of so many Husker fans, and this one's coming in from Sydney in Beatrice. Competition at the second outside position between Taylor and Lindsay. We all know about that. But also, you got this player, Layla Blackwell.
Yeah.
Who, first of all, when she played at USD and played against Stanford in that huge upset, one of the greatest upsets in NCAA tournament history 2 years ago, she had 12 kills that night, 0 errors, and hit almost 600. Had 7 blocks. Okay. So here she is on your team. You got 2 great middles already.
Yeah.
Is there something else she can do to get on the floor?
First of all, I just want to acknowledge what an awesome person she is, and just a positive, and has really just kind of, I don't want to say embraced her role, and that means we can use her at any moment, and it's never, the door is always open, and like you said, we have 2 fantastic middles and who have been doing a great job, and so, but I think what Layla's doing is pushing those 2 every week, and she's right there, so it's really cool, and the dynamic is unreal just between all 3 of them, and really supportive, and it's just a reflection of how hard we've been working, not only on the court but off the court as well.
How about coming in on the right side? Spot duty?
Yeah. Again, I think that it's just depending on the night and kind of what it presents us. So I think we're open to a lot of possibilities. And, there are a couple times where she's in the front row and she transitioned and hit a red. So it wouldn't surprise me. Anything wouldn't surprise me.
Tonight's Husker Volleyball Show brought to you by Dorothy Lynch. Home style and light and lean dressing. Dorothy Lynch. Endless flavorabilities. And Husker Extra is the best website and mobile app for everything Husker sports, from the experts of the Omaha World Herald and Lincoln Journal-Star. Go to huskerextra.com or search your app store today. TikToks. We can't get through a Husker volleyball show without bringing this doggone deal up. If you've heard about this whole phenomenon, what's happening is basically these young people, and they just scroll is what it's called. I call it doom scrolling. And the next thing you know, an hour is gone. And I was into TikToks till I realized my life expectancy doesn't expand by the time I spend on them. So I stopped.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was the thing.
So you do not get the time back.
Okay, that's good to know.
What do you think about all the TikToking going on?
You know, I don't know if her brain is actually able to process all of it.
Smart.
Yeah, it's
I
just
can't handle
right.
it.
But
I saw this
definitely
big guy jumping on a pool in the backyard, but he jumped out of his upstairs window and he thought the ice. It was a nightmare. I'm telling you, he can't process the whole thing. Just
I will say that there's a lot of like life hacks though. It's like it's amazing what you can
Like
learn.
what?
I don't know, like how to clean your house. I don't know, more
Nice.
efficiently. I don't know, like
How to
how to
s-
organize your house more efficiently.
How to make dough and never get off your couch.
Exactly, genius. So I don't know. I think I do also have a scrolling problem at times.
No.
Yeah, I know. I'm admitting.
Jordan.
First thing is acknowledging that you have a problem.
Nice.
Acknowledging.
You
Yep.
identify it first.
Identify
Nice.
it, and I can change the behavior.
And here's the other thing I found on with TikTokers. Very confident people, like they've got the answer.
Yeah.
And so I'm very impressed. Like
Yeah.
they just really have figured it out.
I know. You don't. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet, but I will. I do like to watch. But it's interesting watching our
Jordan.
players engage and
Yep.
all that.
And
but
fans
they
love it.
Yeah, it's a great time for them.
Little
so.
window in the behind the scenes for the
Yeah.
Huskers. Meanwhile, you were an assistant coach for Elkhorn North a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I remember going to the state tournament and I'm thinking, Jordan Larson's on the bench for Elkhorn North. How did this happen?
Yeah, it was a great experience. Yeah, Jenny is just awesome, and I knew her back when one of my really good friends played for her back when she was at Elkhorn High, and yeah, I just was kind of at a moment in my life where I was like, I think I want to coach. Now, what does it look like, and how can I help? And she has an awesome program, so being able to step in there and help those young kids kind of learn something.
The president of the University of Nebraska, Dr. Jeffrey Gold, addressed your team earlier this year. I never spoke to Coach about it. Can you share anything about
Yeah,
that?
just kind of in his previous working life, I guess
Yeah.
you could say, he was a surgeon. And I think that oftentimes you can make a correlation of kind of what we do is kind of an operation. Kind of what I was explaining before is we have to be very strategic and surgical with how we make decisions, right? And I think getting down to, you know, when they're in the surgery room, like they're feeling the emotion, they're feeling the high of it, but if they kind of show that, right, they're dealing with a life or death situation, right, where ours is not that, but we are constantly making decisions and we are feeling the emotion of the moment, but how can we get to ourselves about like lowering our emotional state and being able to make tactical and tangible decisions in the moment? And so I think interviewing him, asking him questions of like, what was his thought process? What was he thinking? Was really awesome for our players to kind of really understand that we're going to surgery every day. Literally every day practice. Yeah.
Volleyball surgery, and we'll be in the operating room Friday night at the UW Fieldhouse, the Badgers Den. We'll talk more about that when we come right back.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Cyber threats are everywhere. When is the last time you stopped to think about how you're protecting your business from potential data breaches, phishing scams, or ransomware? It's time to make cybersecurity a priority for your business. At Hamilton, our unmatched expertise and cutting-edge technology goes beyond basic defense, providing proactive, tailored solutions that keep your data, network, and digital assets protected. Better protection, better cybersecurity with Hamilton. Visit our website at hamiltonisbusiness.com to learn more.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Drives us, Sid Dillon.
Huskers fans, let's call a timeout on the court and in life.
When the game gets tough, Nebraska stands together as a family, as a team. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. You're part of the Husker family, and every member is valued on and off the court. Remember, in times of need, call a timeout. Call, text, or chat 988. Presented by Nebraska DHHS.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Number 2 versus number 7. It's Friday night. Of course, we'll have it for you right here on the HRN. I've heard of this invention called TV, but keep it right here on the HRN. 8 p.m. Central Time is the start. 7 o'clock first serve Friday night. Number 2 Nebraska at number 7 Wisconsin. The Huskers try to end an 8-match losing streak at the UW Fieldhouse dating back to 2013. Sports Nightly listeners, a reminder that with every block on the court this season, Union Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor Blocking Out Hunger, benefiting the Food Bank of Lincoln. Union Bank and Trust, remember, FDIC. All right, Jordan Larson, Carter Booth, Devin Robinson, Anna Schmreck. Anna Schmreck is still around. She was there in the 2021 National Championship match, 6'9", just a freshman then, and here she is, the leader of the team, still 6'9". And this is one of the tallest front rows you're going to see in the pro game.
Yep.
How do the Huskers avoid these huge hands?
Yeah, again, I think being smart with our offense, and I think being able to pass the ball is a good start. And I don't know, I'm confident in our hitters that we're going to make smart, aggressive shots, and then also, again, how we can defend them as well.
You're the queen of the recycle. You anticipate there'll be opportunities for that?
Absolutely. I think that, if tight sets happen, how can we make it beneficial on our side of the net, which playing into the block, and then...
So you intentionally playing in the block, and he comes back at you, and you recycle.
Recycle, exactly. And I think that people often fear the block. Obviously, you don't want to hit in the block and hit down, right, ideally, but the block is your friend, and it can provide a lot of other shots for you.
If there is a weakness, for Wisconsin, historically, earlier this year at least, maybe now they've got it solved, back row, digging, libero position. Yeah. How do you make sure that they've got to keep the ball off the floor? Basically, you got to get it around their block and make their back row dig.
Yeah, defend. Yeah, and I think that it's also, too, being strategic about who's playing the ball. Like, where can we get, maybe it's in the setter's hand, maybe it's in the outside hitter's hand, that, we can be, again, strategic about where we're placing it. But also, I think, taking advantage of the big block and hitting high and hard, it's always a great solution as well.
Toughest ticket in town. This thing has been sold out for more than a month. People ask me what the capacity is. The upper deck's now available. I think it's like 11.5. I think it's huge.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So
it's gonna be fun.
All right, 20 seconds. I'll give you 10 seconds. How important is Friday night to this team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously any match is important, but I think the history is huge. But again, I think there's weight on the match, but at the end of the day, we just have to execute.
That's Jordan Larson. Thank you. That's your Husker Volleyball show. Stay right there. More Sports Nightly. We'll talk to you Friday night from UW Fieldhouse. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If there's one thing Nebraska is known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens.
I'm Jason Pinky, a farmer near Craig, Nebraska. Soybeans are vital for feeding our livestock, and they're also a powerhouse protein source for people worldwide. Our world needs protein, and Nebraska soybeans are making a difference.
From tailgate grills to global plates, farmers deliver affordable, nutritious protein to build muscle and energy for everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Imagine a world where your office IT runs smoothly, securely, and effortlessly. A day where you aren't worried about the next outage or password compromise. At Hamilton, we take care of everything from monitoring and maintenance to security and support. We partner with your business to design integrated technology solutions that fit your needs now and your goals for the future. With on-site and remote IT support options, we're always just a call or click away. Elevate your IT with Hamilton Managed IT. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Earlier today, defensive coordinator Tony White spoke about how he gets the team ready to play the same week in and out.
That's the formula. I mean, that, like, you know, and I think that's the key to it all, right? Is getting any team, any locker room, any sport, right? Is getting your team to be that confident, to be that aggressive, to be that ready to perform, you know. And so they know what it looks like, but more importantly, they knew how the Sunday meetings went, or the Monday meetings went, the Tuesday practice went, the Wednesday practice. You know what I mean? So again, it's a dive into the process and making sure that we do the process right, so those guys have the confidence to go out there and play like that on Saturday.
More from Coach Satterfield and White in just a bit. The Husker women's golf team finished in a tie for 7th at the Hurricane Invitational in Florida today. Sophomore Hannah Kono finished 16th with a collegiate career best 3-round total of 218, or 2 over par. She missed a top 10 finish by just 1 stroke. And finally, Game 4 of the World Series is tonight in New York as the Yankees host the Dodgers. The Dodgers lead the series 3-0 and can win the series tonight. First pitch is in just a few minutes on Fox. Our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout if you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Play action, back to throws. Howard steps, throws, pass is intercepted. Malcolm Hartsock with a pick at the 40, 35, weaving his way to the 30, 25,
Let's
20,
go, baby.
15, 10, down to the 5-yard line of the bounce. Malcolm Hartsock's 4th pick of the year, and the Huskers have it 1st and goal at the Buckeye 5.
It felt like something good was going to happen because they had been staying the course.
Huskers break the huddle. Under center goes Raiola. Huskers go quick, turn, give it off to Dante, right side, leans, dives, touchdown Nebraska. Dante Dowdell puts the Big Red in front, 15-14.
Again, Illinois middle back, roll shot from Raina Terry. Here come the Huskers. Lexi Bergen outside, Taylor Landfair blocked back. Great cover by Laney Choboy. Jack back, right side, Nebraska. Andy Jackson, kaboom! Wow, what an angle, what velocity. Electrifies the demanding crowd. It's 10-9 in Lincoln in the 3rd. Left side roll shot. Taylor Landfair, second contact redirect. Here come the Huskers again. Back row. Harper. Kaboom! Smashing it from the 10-foot line.
Now, here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our Tuesday night show. Just an hour for us. Hope you enjoyed last hour. What a treat to hear Jordan Larson. Anytime you can just talk volleyball, hear volleyball from her, it's just such a treat. And fun hour with her and JB, and they covered a lot of ground. Big match coming up Friday night in Madison. It's been, as JB documented there at the last segment, tough place for Nebraska, heck, for anybody to play. It's one, they've been really good, and they draw great crowds. They're in your face. It's kind of an intimate, older arena where they're kind of down on top of you, hanging on top of you. So it's a tough place, but Huskers will put their 17-match win streak on the line. Jess, that's just remarkable. 17 in a row. I don't care what sport you're talking about. That's a heck of a run. And it may end Friday. I hope not. But, man, 17 straight is really, really incredible.
And think about how many of those are sweeps, too. You know, I mean, once they dropped the match to SMU, boy, they figured some things out. And even when they have some stretches where they don't play their best, they adjust. And that's a lot of times Lauren, you know, love listening to her. She talks about just the adjustments that are made week in and week out, and within it, even individual sets, you know, that sometimes things will go the Huskers' way. They figure out a way to work through it, and so that's where it continues to be a work in progress. But yeah, it's, you know, you and I have talked a lot about this over the last week about this time of year when you hit a wall, but there's some big opportunities coming up, and this team gets no doubt going to get fired up to play in. And, they still maintain that they have a lot to work on, a lot to get better at if they want to be a national title contender. So as you rattle off 17 in a row and, how many of those were sweeps, they still are not satisfied. They're not complacent by any means with how they've played.
Wisconsin starts the first of 4 road matches. They'll be at Northwestern Sunday. Then they make that trip out west to Oregon and Washington. And we just found out yesterday that Washington match, you're going to have to stay up late, folks. That's that Saturday night. It's the bye week for football, but they're not going to first serve it until 9:30. It's Seattle time, so it's 7:30 out there. It will be on BTN that night. So get your naps in that day, Husker fans. You're going to need to stay up late for that one as they go play the Ducks, who are really good. Washington's off a bit. They've been a traditional power, but not quite as good this year. But Oregon's really good. That'll be a challenge when they head out to Eugene. That'll be the first match of that road trip. That'll be a Thursday night. So they'll have a day between those matches, which is nice. And they have a day between the Wisconsin and Northwestern match. So it's not back-to-back days. They get to travel, and then they can kind of settle in. And
Greg, it was supposed to be. That was the Wisconsin Northwestern was scheduled as a back-to-back.
Was it?
Yeah, and the Huskers, as I was actually talking to Lindsey Peterson about that. It wasn't on the show, but we were chatting before we started recording about, the Huskers got 5, I think it was 5 or 6 originally scheduled back-to-back, and the next closest team had 2, but most had 1 or 2. And so the fact that the Huskers had 5, and so when that happened and then the match against Wisconsin got pushed back and it was a late night start time or later in the night, that they went to the league, and Northwestern actually ended up saying, hey, yeah, we'll work with you. They have a doubleheader. It's the volleyball leading into women's basketball, so they're kind of making it a big deal there on Sunday. But it was actually supposed to be a back-to-back and a tough, again, part of a tough stretch. But luckily, the league came through and Northwestern agreed, and so they allowed them to have that day in between. And then they're going to have a pretty big day out at Northwestern with the back-to-back doubleheader with women's hoops and volleyball.
Well, thank goodness, and that's some common sense, because if you first serve and they're first serving at 8 against the Badgers, let's say it goes 4 or 5, which more than likely probably will, then you're talking about a match getting over 10:30, 10:45. By the time they get ready to get to the airport, I know it's a short hop flight to Chicago, but still you got Chicago traffic, and you're not going to get to your hotel till 1:30 in the morning or so, and then you'd have to turn around and play the next day. Thank goodness the league, somebody stepped in with some common sense and said, no, let's pump the brakes on that.
Well, and here's my thing. Okay, I totally understand that a lot of the TV slots that the networks want Nebraska in, right? But when you start to schedule and then you look at this and you see 5 back-to-backs compared to 2, I think Penn State had 2 and nobody else. There's one other team, I think, or maybe 2 that had 2 back-to-backs, but everybody else just had 1. How is that fair? When you've got 5, which is not an easy task. And I get it, the NBC match, the game on NBC, that was a huge opportunity. Like, there are certain instances like that I get, but I don't know how when you're looking at the scheduling and you don't think, okay, let's spread this out a little bit for Nebraska. It's not probably fair that they've got 5 and everybody else has 2 or less.
Yeah, good point. And that Michigan State match on the Friday before the NBC match was at 5. So, and it ended up being a sweep, so they got out of there quick. Although I guess they got caught by, I think it was Kamala Harris's plane was in Columbus or something, and so they got redirected, or they had to sit on their plane for a while. So I guess that cost them like 30 minutes at the airport. But they played earlier, not an 8 o'clock like this one will be. 7 o'clock for pregame Friday night. I can't wait. Can't wait for this. I said this to you yesterday. This is going to be a long week. 1, waiting for that match, and then 2, waiting. I'm ready to see our football team play again after Saturday's game at Ohio State, and I know they're ready to play again. You come off of that kind of a game, you want to get right back out there and kind of try to keep this thing going. And heard from some of the players today. They had a press gathering today. Dylan talked a little bit. Gunnar Gatula got up there. That was fun. Sear Wright met with the media. He was fun, Jess. I don't know, you've been trying to get with him. He was a really fun guy to listen to for 3 or 4 minutes today at the press, saying he he just really handles himself really well. And there's kind of a light bulb that goes off when he talks.
Oh, he's fantastic. I mean, I've interviewed him a couple times, just quick post-game interviews, but I cannot wait. I'm hoping he's on my list to get to do a really deep dive and sit down. He's got a fascinating backstory. He's just like you said, he's a light, and you could just he lights up anybody that's around. He just and you and I have had this conversation too, but you think about how he got here late and then how he's already fit in. I mean, it just speaks so much to him and the character that he has, that he's been able to settle in and be so well respected by the defense, but then also understand the defense and have already made such an impact. I mean, Searles and I recorded an episode of The Dig today, and he was really, really impressed he said every single person did their part on defense. They had a couple of the big plays, just the mistakes, the bust, but that really, from everybody that stepped on the field, he's like, that was an incredible defensive performance. So that was a tall task to ask those defensive backs to match up with those Ohio State wide receivers. So he's definitely on my list to get as well. And great that Gunnar Gatula got some love too, because boy, talk about being thrown into the fire and how he's handled it. And it just seems like, when I was watching the highlights back, it seemed like he and Justin are figuring some things out. The O-line a lot of times is about chemistry, and it seems like Justin and Gunnar are starting to figure things out and click a little bit on that left side.
How exciting for Gunnar. He's a redshirt freshman. I mean, think about that. And I know Teddy will be back in the mix next year. But the experience he's getting, he has a chance to be a 4-year starter at left tackle. Now, he may lose the job to Teddy. That could certainly happen. Teddy gets recovered and back in this thing. But the experience, and he's, to me, and Jeremiah would know way more than I, but to me, he's held up pretty darn well against good pass rushers. We've played a good stretch of teams here with Rutgers, Illinois, and Indiana, and obviously Ohio State. Those are good football teams. He's had to play against some of the better teams in the league and seems to be doing pretty darn well.
Well, and you never know, he might move over to the right side, because this has been hard. Last season, he overtook Searles' record, so he's done. But they talk about cross-training those guys, and so there's a chance that this experience maybe allows for him to still be the guy and maybe just slide over to the right side. I don't know. So it's good. It's good for the future. And Searles has said that from the start, that, this is, while he's pretty green still and learning as he goes, and Searles was in this exact situation where he was a redshirt freshman, and he was like, I was not ready. I got it handed to me, but it made me so much better, and it made me so much more prepared for the future, and for even just in a year, just the leaps and bounds improvement that he made between when he was thrown in there as a redshirt freshman to when he started as, his third year into the program and as a sophomore. So just a huge opportunity for Gunnar, and he is holding his own in there. So it's great for the future, but shoot, he's doing his job right now and helping this offense right now, and not an easy ask, but I think that's it's certainly great that he's the moment wasn't too big for him, and he seems, how he handles himself on the sideline too, it just, you could tell he is ready for it, and he's eager to be able to do his part.
All right, coming up tonight, both Marcus Satterfield and Tony White met with the media. We'll play some recap clips from their press conference earlier today. And as always, your show, text line is open for you, 402-413-2400. It's a Tuesday night sports Sunday, but first time to tell you that Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Back with a practice report. We'll do that next.
Looking for the ultimate sports watching experience? Head to Smash Park in La Vista, home of Husker Hangouts, Omaha's official watch parties. Your go-to spot for epic game day deals, delicious bites, and unbeatable fun. Catch every moment on massive screens. Challenge friends to pickleball, axe throwing, and other games. Smash Park is where the action happens, whether you're cheering on the Huskers or just enjoying the atmosphere. Smash Park. Visit us today and turn your game day into a game night. Smash Park. Play, drink, eat.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Attention, Husker Nation. Are you ready to power up your game? Sap Brothers bleeds Husker Red, and our high-quality off-road red diesel is the fuel that powers your equipment. As official sponsors of the Huskers, we're here with a touchdown offer with the Sap Brothers Go Big Red Fuel Giveaway. Contract your upcoming fuel needs by February 1st and enter to win 1,000 free gallons of our off-road red diesel. Keep your engines roaring and your equipment running strong. With this winning opportunity, Sap Brothers fuels Husker Nation. Visit sapbros.net/fuel giveaway for more info.
Hey Husker fans, Coach Rule here, thanking you for your incredible support of Nebraska football. We're working every day to bring championship football back to Nebraska. Just as important is your contribution to 1890 Nebraska, the official NIL collective of Husker Athletics. Every contribution, no matter how small, makes a big impact. Your support helps us recruit and retain top talent, bringing a winning program that can compete at the highest level. Visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEBNIL to 801-801 now.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Is your phone system holding you back? We know how important smooth, reliable communication is for your success. Whether your team is working from the office or on the go, you need a phone system that keeps up with your busy day. At Hamilton, we offer business phone systems that adapt to your needs, making every call clear and every connection simple. Upgrade to a Hamilton business phone system where advanced features meet unmatched reliability. Are you ready to transform how you communicate? Better phones, better business. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They're the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Rick Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you on a Tuesday night. Hope you enjoyed the volleyball show. Last hour tomorrow night, Rob Dvorak will be in studio. Our football hour, the linebackers coach for the Cornhuskers. So be thinking about questions you want to convey to Coach Dvorak. We'll have that for you tomorrow night in hour number 1. Well, today, Tuesday, the traditional day for the coordinators to meet with the media. So both Marcus Satterfield, Tony White met with the media today. Let's start offense with Coach Sat. One of the questions that he got asked was, how hectic was it when you had the ball down near the goal line where you thought you had maybe the ball at the 1, but it ended up being moved back to the 2? How hectic was that whole sequence for him? And I'll just let Coach Sat talk about it.
Yeah, I thought it was literally that far from the goal line, and when the ref spotted, I thought, he's sitting there with his right foot. And then when they backed it up, we were all like, can we get it? And we all collectively thought we could, get over the top and get it, especially with Todd and those guys in there, but it did not work out, and we'll learn from it.
Yeah,
big difference.
Yeah, it happened so quick, and then it was, I know they thought they could get it, but like you said, he'll learn from it. And I don't know. What would you do differently, Greg? They felt confident they were going to get it, but you're asking a lot out of a couple of guys that have not been in that situation before.
A yard made the difference. I mean, if it's where, and I thought it was inside the 1, too. My call, if you go back and listen to my call, I said he has it inside. It was Jalen Lloyd. He had it inside the 1.
Yeah.
And they backed it up to the 1.5 or close to the 2. Then the dive over the top, it's hard to get there from 2. You can get there from a half a yard, and that's a touchdown right there. So I just so unfortunate, and just, gosh darn it, it's just another one of those plays that just aggravates you. But you're right, you just got to move on. And that was still the third quarter, so there's still a lot of football to be played after that. Well, we did see one thing new. We talked about it last night, was Dylan taking off and running with the football, which was a nice thing. He saw some open avenues, and he took advantage of it. Here's Coach Sat talking about watching Dylan run the ball.
Shoot, I didn't know he could run like that, to be honest with you. I've never seen it, but I thought did a really nice job. He switched the ball on the outside arm. He used used his off arm weapon as a stiff arm. It was cool. I'd hopefully see some more.
It was impressive to see, and especially just the adjustments that were made. And I had asked Coach Rule specifically that on the TV show, is that part of the game plan? He said, no, Dylan just saw it. So that just goes to show you how Dylan goes back and watches film in Indiana, sees a couple things, and I think Coach Satterfield even alluded to that he was kind of mad that he didn't take advantage of the situation at one of the times at Indiana. And then he goes back and makes that much of an adjustment from week to week and sees it on film and then takes advantage of it, sees the opportunity, and does it. And, I don't think anybody really knew that Dylan could run like that. I mean, he's a solid athlete. I think he played baseball, right? But, in practice and stuff with the quarterbacks, you don't hit them. And then a lot of times if it's a busted play and they get loose, they blow the whistle, and so you blow it dead. So that 38-yard run, I don't know if they would have even had an opportunity to see him run like that. So I just was really, really impressed with the adjustments that he was able to make. And then finding out that it was just him making that call once he saw it open up just after 1 week of adjustments. That's a true freshman, making those kinds of week-to-week adjustments. It's really, really incredible.
If he could just do that 2 or 3 times a game and go pick up 10, it doesn't have to be 38. 38's a mantra. But if you go get 8 to 10 and get a first down, move the sticks, I think that could be a really effective addition to what he does with his arm.
Yeah, especially because people know. It's what we've now seen. They've put it on film, and it's what teams are trying to do. They're trying to take away his ability to throw the ball downfield with the wide receivers. And so you can open it up a little bit with the run game, the quarterback run game, and then teams have to respect that. So you can't just just go all in on stopping one thing. You have to. That's on film now for UCLA and everybody else moving forward. That hadn't been on film before. So now people are going to have to prepare for that, and that just continues to allow things to open up for the offense.
All right, next up, UCLA. Coach Satt was asked, what have you seen on tape from the Bruins defense?
The record is very deceiving. They played some really good teams. Same record against common opponents as we have. You watch them on defense, they're very long, they're very athletic, they're physical, very multiple in their scheme, can cause some headaches trying to figure out what they're doing, especially on third down, but just real impressive defensive unit as far as team speed, physicality, and athleticism to see on tape.
Greg, you've been saying that since UCLA almost took down Minnesota that week. You picked UCLA to beat Minnesota, and they had just started to figure some things out. They beat Rutgers. They're coming off a bye, and so you look at their record and think, oh, that's winnable, which we've had some calls that have said that. But this is no just gimme. This is a team that's starting to peak and play a lot better football. Their best football, as we heard both coordinators say. So it's still going to be a challenge, so don't be deceived by the record. This is going to be a big challenge for the Huskers.
They played at LSU. They were in that game at the half. They went to Penn State. They were in that game at the half. Now they got worn down as the game went on, and both LSU and Penn State pulled away from them, but they've played in some hostile environments. They won their win was at Rutgers in the league. They've had to fly across country twice to Rutgers and Penn State. They went to Hawaii, for goodness sakes, to start the year. That's a 5-hour flight from LA. So they have just been all over the map this year. You're right. I thought they were going to get the Gophers. They led that game deep into the fourth quarter, but kudos to PJ Fleck. They pulled it out, but then they got it done with Rutgers. And then a bye week to kind of feel good about themselves. So I think they're going to come in here fired up. Nebraska, I think, is a better team than UCLA. I will say that, but you got to play. And that's the thing that Matt Rule says. We got to – last week doesn't mean anything if we don't kind of back it up with a good performance against UCLA. One last thing from Satt. He was asked, okay, you have 4 games left in this season. So you have a third of the season left to be played. What do you want to get accomplished? What can you still get accomplished with this offense?
Continuing to be able to run the ball with just, common runs, traditional runs. Being able to put the ball on the perimeter and block, I think it would take, be a huge step for us. And then just continue to develop our play action pass game, which if you can continue to get better in the run, that will improve and allow us to push the ball a bit, down the field more than we're doing right now.
Greg, I understand that there's always room to improve, but I thought the run game was better last week against Ohio State. I thought there was a couple of times where Emmett, ripped off a pretty solid run. Dante did, and then, of course, Dylan in the run game. I mean, you always got to get better, but I thought it was a step ahead, a step in the right direction than what we had seen the past couple times out.
Agreed. Dante, 14 carries, 60 yards. That's 4.3 yards a carry. You'll take that. That's pretty good. Dylan skewed it a little bit with the scrambles. That certainly helps. But, yeah, I'm with you. I think there were some straight runs that we blocked it better than we have, and that's a really good front for Ohio State. I mean, that's one of the better defensive fronts you're going to see. So I'm encouraged. They need to, again, do it again this week against UCLA. Tony White, the Husker defense coordinator, who, by the way, spent some time at UCLA. That's a place near and dear to his heart. He was asked first about, was Saturday's effort against Ohio State a statement from his defense?
It's what we're supposed to do, right? I mean, that's just what we're supposed to do, and really happy that the guys played like that. But again, for as up and down as it is, you just want to make sure that, hey, this is Tuesday. We got a team who's playing their best football coming in here. We want to make sure we know how to do things, and then more importantly, probably the most important is how we do things. With a little attitude and chip on our shoulder.
Yeah, Greg, I've talked about this several times, and just seeing it firsthand right there up close on the sideline, the way that this defense carries themselves, and it hasn't been consistent from week to week, and I think that maybe translates to what you see on the field. And last week, boy, they were ready to go out there every single time. They were just so confident. It grew throughout the game. They were, it didn't matter what was happening in the game. They were fired up to go back out there. It's no problem. We're backed up, or Ohio State has the ball the first time out inside the 40. No problem. The bad punt, no problem. They were just so confident. And that's, we saw that against Rutgers, and then it's a couple times that you see that really just that swagger and belief that we can stop anybody in the country. But then there have been a couple of times that you don't see that as much. Against Indiana, you didn't see it, and I understand that snowballed out. But a lot of that is, how they knew they had prepared throughout the week. I mean, that's what I hear from the players a lot when I talk to them. I talked to Willis McGahee. He's like, I knew I was going to have a big day because I practiced that way. And so now that they're starting to see it translates to what you do on Saturday, you just got to put in the work and, believe that the work that you put in from day to day is going to carry over. And that's what makes for good performances on Saturday. And then you got to believe it and then not. And I thought, too, another big thing was that when the big play happened, they didn't let it phase them. They bounced back from it, as opposed to the week before against Indiana when you had a couple bad plays. They didn't lock in and stop the bleeding. They handled the adversity of the big plays a little bit better against Ohio State, and that's going to happen. When you play good offenses, there's good offenses coming up. There's Wisconsin has put up some numbers. USC certainly has a good offense, so the good offenses are going to make some plays, but it's how you respond from that and limit the plays after that.
Coach Worrell said yesterday were a couple guys that played maybe their best games as Huskers, and I think Jamari Butler might have been one of those. Here's Tony White talking about Jamari, and did he think that he maybe played one of his better games, and why is it kind of taking this time for Jamari?
No, I mean, he was like that at the beginning of the year, and then as with all football players at this time, they're banged up and all that kind of stuff. And then just gradually, I think he started settling down and being able to play like that, but also did a good job of taking care of his body with Mitch and Corey and those guys and stuff. And then you see him moving around even like he was at the beginning of the season. And again, no coincidence, he was making a ton of plays out there.
I mean, he was the guy I think we both had circled going into the season about potentially being a breakout player, even as good as he's been, and he's been around for so long. But that was certainly a performance that we had hoped for out of Jamari, and he just kind of got banged up, and then it lingered, and I think it just bothered him a little bit longer than you'd hope for those couple weeks. But he feels right, he feels healthy, and as long as and Searles and I talked about this too on the podcast too, is that was a third string tackle, and probably the difference between Nebraska's third string tackle and Ohio State's third string tackle is that Nebraska's defensive line, boy, really went after that. And Searles said that it showed that Jamari just beat up on him all day long. And Searles had also brought this up going into last week, is that when Ty and Nash are getting double teamed, that allows for one-on-ones for some other guys. And Jamari's told me that specifically against Indiana. We didn't win our one-on-ones. Well, when you get those one-on-one opportunities, you got to make the most of them. And Jamari certainly did against Ohio State.
Another one that got him was MJ Sherman, and we called MJ's name a lot Saturday. And he's meant a lot to the Jack room. And here's Tony White talking about MJ and how important he's been to the defense.
He sets a great example, being an older guy. That's the kind of guy you want, leading that position group. He's making a ton of plays, but it's the plays that he doesn't make where he's really impacting the game. I mean, he's like the undercover hero. I mean, he's taking on blocks. He's so physical. That first fourth down stop, I don't know if against in Ohio State or whatever, he's being double teamed and he crushes the tight end down and the wing is still on him. And as soon as the tight end comes off, he inserts himself up the field and he hits the ball carrier. There's stuff like that you don't see unless you're really watching the game, how much he's impacting. And then he's on the sideline talking each series to guys, to Prince Will and to Willis, and then Willis goes in there and makes a huge play. And MJ's one of the first ones to jump around with him and all that stuff. So it's fun to watch him grow, develop, and have fun where he's at.
Yeah, I think that's where it's just really impressive to see MJ, how he communicates on the sideline and some of the things that he sees. And, he's an older guy now and certainly probably sees the game differently. And so, with Jack Potenza and just that relationship and the things that he's able to break down. And then it's not just with his group, but some of the other leaders. And you see that from the secondary throughout the middle linebackers, D-line, that jack position, those guys constantly communicating on the things that they see and how they can get better. They're, when you talk about being a player-led team, certainly the defenses, you see that on the sideline and their constant communication. And MJ is one of those guys, there's no doubt.
Played well. Again, racking up a sack or so in that game against Ohio State. All right, last one. Ethan Garbers is the quarterback for UCLA, playing pretty well. His numbers aren't great, but you can see, like the rest of that team, they seem to be getting a little bit better. Here's Tony White about what Garbers does well.
Playing the best ball he's played all year. I mean, he sees, he got the ball out of his hands quick. He knows who's open. They're doing a nice job under center in their run game and play action game. I mean, they're starting to settle into what they want to do. And again, as a quarterback, I mean, he is running the offense. He is truly running the offense, getting them into whatever plays they need to be in. And no coincidence, they scored their highest amount, again, against Rutgers.
It's always a concern, right? When a quarterback starts getting into a rhythm and feeling confident and leading an offense. And I thought it was great, too, just hearing Tony White talk about his appreciation and admiration just for the program, for the head coach, for the job that they're doing, it was neat to hear him kind of reflect on that. And, hey, I'm going to root for UCLA except for when we match up against them. But you could tell he's got a lot of respect. And this is, again, I think maybe from the outside, people saying, oh, this is a very winnable game, or it's hands down the most winnable game. But I don't think anybody in that locker room is taking this one lightly. They're going about it just as they do every week, like hopefully preparing like they did against going into the Ohio State game. But, I know they have a lot of tremendous respect for this team, and you have to look at just the trajectory of this UCLA team and how they've continued to get better throughout the season.
I think the fact that his first home game in a month will help, being back home, excited to play in front of the home fans. I think that will help excite this team and get it ready. Plus, I think the 2:30 game might be a good start. I mean, get away from the early morning games, get in the middle of the afternoon, get your body juices flowing a little bit. But I do think the home cooking will really help this Saturday. All right, thoughts? 402-413-2400. The text line is open if you have some thoughts about what either one of the coordinators had to say today. Woodhouse, well, they've been a trusted auto partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Back with more of the show coming up.
Working together, Central Valley Ag unites with our farmers to feed a hungry planet. Add dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From food corn and beans to non-GMOs and organics. For a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract 25,000 bushels or more of value-added grain. Enter at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
O'Reilly. Eliminate carbon and varnish deposits with Lucas Fuel Treatment at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply add it to your tank at your next fill-up. A clean fuel system can increase performance and fuel economy. Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for just $9 and get 2 times O Rewards points. In-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-notch products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit sukup.com to find your dealer today.
set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hello, Husker Nation. This is Lexi Rodriguez, All-American Libero, serving you an ace on behalf of Noddle Companies based in Omaha, Nebraska. Noddle Companies is a full-service leader in commercial real estate, digging deep to create thriving communities like the Builders District, Exarban Village, and the contemporary row house townhomes. They bring world-class concepts in fashion, great eats, gorgeous homes, and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. To dig up more information, find them on Facebook and Instagram. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
The polar bear. Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hutmaker knows who to call when your house is cold enough for hibernation.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hutmaker here. People know me as the polar bear. Don't be like me in the winter and call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty. Best warranty in town.
SOS to the rescue.
402-391-2336.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise. At Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. There is a new blood donation competition happening around Big Ten schools with $1 million prize on the line. And the Huskers, your Huskers, are currently leading. If you bleed Husker Red, donate blood and submit for Nebraska at bigten.org/Abbott, ABBOTT, before December the 7th. You do not have to be in Lincoln or Nebraska. You can do this anywhere in the country. Go to that website and get the directions on how to submit that you did donate blood, and you will be credited to the Nebraska account. December 7th seems like a long ways off, Jess, but you're going to get to late November and the holidays, and people are going to get distracted and Christmas shopping and all those kind of things. It's going to go fast. Got to hang on to this lead, get the university $1 million.
Yes, and I have an update on that. So again, still currently up like over almost 1,000, but it was over 1,000. Wisconsin is making a push. They are at 981. Huskers are at 1,923. So I know that seems like a lot, but Wisconsin has come on. So and UCLA is in third at 745. Iowa is in fourth at 590, but Wisconsin is trying to get in this thing, and so we got to keep it going.
Those darn cheeseheads, got to keep them away from this thing. So get out there. If you're a regular blood donor, easy for you. If you've not done that, think about it. I know sometimes some people that makes them a little nervous to go do that, but if you do, go through this proper step and get Nebraska some credit. This would be a great addition. I know the campus would love to get some money like that to go do something with that. So hopefully you can hang in there and do that. Big week with Volleyball Friday against Wisconsin. This football game on Saturday. It's Military Appreciation Game. It's my favorite pregame show of the year. They salute all 4 branches of the military. Love the pregame salute by the Cornhusker Marching Band. Cannot wait for that Saturday. And I'm excited for the 2:30 kick. I'm kind of an old traditionalist. I like this. I like getting up, having my coffee and my breakfast and not being rushed out the door Saturday morning, getting on, listening to DB and Ben at 10:30 and then strolling in about noon and getting ready for pregame show and then being home for the night games. I love these 2:30 games.
You and I are in agreement in this. I know a lot of people are not, but I am absolutely a fan of the 2:30 games at home. I love it. I'm with you. Don't have to get up so early, and then you still have your evening a little bit. Right. And so I'm a big fan of it. Apparently, though, you're telling me, though, it's I better get ready, get my rain gear ready.
Yeah, going to rain Saturday. And, Coach Rural said, hey, I was hoping for blowing snow for these Southern California guys. He's not going to get that. He's going to get some wet. It's going to be in the 60s, so the temperature is going to be okay. But, hey, we need the rain. Kind of due for a rainy game at home. I don't think it's going to be anything that would stop the play. It's not lightning and thunder, so it's not going to be a risk of that. But we'll see. We still have 4 days between now and kickoff, so it could change. It could zip around a little bit. But, 2:30 kick on Saturday for the Huskers. We do not have a time for USC. May not know it for a while. We might learn it next Monday, but they may hold that to one of those 6-day carryovers. We may not know till the week before what time we play the Southern California Trojans. How about that? Back-to-back. And you knew UCLA's in Los Angeles. You knew that, right? You
yeah.
That?
Oh, thanks for reminding me. Yes.
Yeah. That's mean. I shouldn't have said that.
Hey.
That was not a good day for him.
But I think that, it kind of goes to show you a little bit of the unknown that they're still not, that we probably won't know, just trying to figure out where everybody stands before they determine where they put the pieces on in terms of the TV networks. But I kind of have a feeling it might be a night game out there at USC.
Could be. Yeah. Maybe NBC primetime. We've been on it once with Colorado. I don't think they've been on it yet. So it could be like that 6:30 Central.
What's on the schedule that week for?
I really haven't looked.
I'll look. And we also had the top audience in all of college football on TV on Saturday.
With that? Yep. The most watched game from this past Saturday was Nebraska's game with Ohio State. So kudos. Nebraska's still a brand. Nebraska still moves the needle. People want to tell us we're irrelevant now, but we still move the needle when we play. And that's why Fox put us on Big Noon Kickoff, even though we were a 20-some point underdog. The brand still carries some weight. That's a really good thing to have.
Here are the other ones real quick. Oregon, Wisconsin, and they are also TBD.
That could be like Big Noon Kickoff.
Yeah. Ohio State, Northwestern, Penn State, Purdue, Michigan State, Illinois, Rutgers, Maryland, and then Nebraska, USC. So it's one of the better matchups. Game.
I think you're right. I think it's NBC primetime at 6:30, which is 4:30 out there. Yeah.
Well, this is a chance to get USC on primetime. So I would imagine it's probably going to be that later kick.
I'm with you. Good stuff. Hey, Woodhouse, they've been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We're back to wrap tonight's show up next.
For farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices.
I'm Ann Neese, a farmer near Elgin, Nebraska. I grew up on this land, and we're dedicated to being good stewards and leaving it better for the next generation.
Since 1980, U.S. soybean farmers have boosted production by 130%, all while lowering emissions and improving land and water use. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
There's something to be said for American-made, but at Monolith, we're helping create Nebraska-made. From here in Nebraska, we're producing low-emission carbon black for tires across North America. Soon we'll be providing farmers with locally made fertilizer to reduce our reliance on foreign imports. We're investing hundreds of millions in our multiple Nebraska facilities and employing Nebraskans in high-paying jobs that support families and communities. Monolith, Nebraska made.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Final few minutes of our Tuesday night show. Again, our football show tomorrow night, hour 1. Linebackers coach Rob Dvorak will be in studio, so get some comments, questions ready for him. You can submit those through the text or on the YouTube chat. Shout out to the YouTube audience. I don't know if they listen to us, but they're there. I see them there. I just don't think they listen to us. So
they're there. They're there every night. They are faithful, but they got their own stuff going on that I don't think they listen half the time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
accurate. Few of them do,
few
of them do not.
Right. We got Halloween in 2 days. Trick-or-treating time.
I think wasn't it Jim in Columbus that used to send us Halloween costumes?
He did?
Yeah.
We've got a full 2-hour show that night as well. So we'll be entertaining you as you're out with your ghosts and goblins and ghouls and trick-or-treating around the neighborhood. It's supposed to be good. We're going to get wet weather around our area tomorrow, but Thursday looks pretty good. So love that for the trick-or-treaters. And you said Jeremiah is going to be a big guy for Halloween.
Yeah, so for the first time, his wife does such a great job. She's so creative, and they've had some really great costumes. They went as, like the Fairbury. They had a Fairbury theme one year, but Oliver is getting a little bit where he has an opinion now, and he had it picked out a long time ago, and they're going to go as like the Spidey crew or something. And of course, Searles is going to be the Hulk. So he's painting himself green. So hopefully we'll see some pictures. It's going to be it's pretty solid costume. So Oliver picked it out. So we have to give him credit for that.
Nice. We better see some pictures from him. So good stuff there. Again, our football show tomorrow night. That's going to put a wrap and a bow on tonight's program. Thanks for being a part of this one. Rob Dvorak tomorrow. We'll have our Big Ten Blitz and other things. We'll monitor all the rest of the sporting news of the day. Thanks to Camden for coming in last second to run the show for us tonight. Outstanding job as always. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Experience the new, innovative, and above all, exceptional vehicles at Woodhouse Buick. We guarantee that our staff can help you find your next vehicle. Stop in and save with our current offers going on now. Save up to $1,000 off MSRP, plus 0.9% APR for 36 months on the 2024 Buick Envision Sport Touring All-Wheel Drive. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 10/31/2024. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill.